everyone. Welcome to Loving Life Creatively with Lizzie Menz, the show where we celebrate the beauty of creativity and the magic it brings to our lives. I'm your host, Lizzie, and I am thrilled to take you on this incredible journey through the world of local artists, musicians, woodworkers, and all kinds of creative souls. In each episode, we'll dive into the inspiring stories of our talented guests, exploring their unique crafts and passions. I'll be sharing my own creative journey with you, offering insights into what fuels my passion and the adventures I encounter along the way. But that's not all. We'll get an insider's look at our guests' creative processes and even join them in some live demonstrations right here in the studio. Whether you're an aspiring artist, a seasoned creator, or someone simply who appreciates the joy of creative expression, this show is for you. So get ready to be inspired, to learn, and to celebrate the creative spirit that makes life so vibrant and exciting. Together, we will discover the endless possibilities of our imaginations. This is Loving Life Creatively with Lizzie Menz. Hi everyone, I'm Lizzie, and today we're exploring the magical world of creating. I am extremely excited to introduce Les Mitchell, a well-known teacher, airplane artist, and creative enthusiast who also builds model airplanes. You can also find Les spending his time refereeing basketball games at our local YMCA, and guess what? He also plays the cello. So Les, thank you so very much for being here on the show with us today. I'm so excited to hear your journey and your story of this amazing things that you brought today.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, let's kick it off with some questions. Are you ready for that?
I'm all set.
Okay, awesome. Les, please share a bit about your background and what kicked off your creative career.
I remember back in Seattle, Washington, Horseman Elementary School. I had a joy of art that I didn't really know I had at the time. Did all the other subjects, but art was always one of my favorite things to do. One of the things that really caught my attention, and I just did thousands of them, was a teacher one time brought up, showed how you could draw the number 8. And then make it into a dog. And I thought this was fascinating. I was just mesmerized. So I did 10,000 of these just to practice. And that was one of my most early recollections of just really enjoying art. So
I love that. Yeah, that's cute. That's awesome. Yes. That is awesome.
When I was in 5th grade, one of the things that Mrs. Bow, we were in California by then, we did a paper mache dinosaurs, and I just loved that. I had paper mache all over my hands, over my clothes, and I was just enjoying it. And I was marveling at the kids that either were having a tough time doing it or doing just a little bit of it and then giving up and quitting and then just doing other things like talking and things. I was amazed. I was like, why are you wasting the time? This is great. So that was my earliest recollection.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That really, truly inspired you.
Yes.
And those teachers, they sound like they also very much inspired you.
They did. They did. It was very fun. So.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. That's wonderful. And it's also so wonderful that that's what you remember.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what inspires you the most in your work, what you do?
What inspires me most, I'm a patriot, and I love anything military, but particularly aviation. Anything I can do to promote our brave heroes that go out every day and protect us, give us our freedom that we have, enjoy. I want to be able to honor that memory. So that's one of the reasons why I do what I do.
I love that. And, that's one of the things that, makes us kindred spirits also is I was a Navy wife for many, many years. My dad was in the Air Force. My dad was an electrician in the Air Force as well. So I, too, am a true patriot. And every day I thank, everyone that's out there doing what they do to, to keep us all safe.
Right.
In
My
our world.
father was, he was in World War II, and he became a sergeant. It was during the all-segregated army at that time. It was not. It was in segregation there, and I remember my dad was one of of a huge row of black soldiers with white officers out in front. I really liked that picture because it just showed how he was able to defend the country also.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that is wonderful. In a time that that was difficult.
Yes.
Very, very difficult.
Right.
I got the opportunity to not really talk to one of the Tuskegee Airmen, but Donner, my friend that I worked at NASA with, he talked very, very highly of him and how wonderful it was to talk with him and about the stories that, had happened during that time too. So it's such an important part of our culture and our history.
Yes,
so thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Yes, yeah. And thank you to your father too for his service as well. Did you ever go in the military then?
I wanted to. My dad, because of his experience in the military, he advised me not to, and I really regret not going. Yeah, I wanted to, but so I did Boy Scouts, and I try to support other ways.
Sure, of course, yeah. Now I'm with you. I wanted to go in the Air Force as well, and I do still sometimes look back. But then I think, I might not still be here if I did, I did take that journey. So, it is I don't know. I think that you aspire to do so many wonderful things, and you kind of fill that with other things, like you said, the Boy Scouts and stuff. So can you tell us about a project that you are particularly really proud of?
Well, I'm really proud of this tank down here. The tank is actually a toy, but I airbrushed it so it looked more real. And the tank driver, I had to add things, pouches onto him, carve his face up a little bit so it would a little bit look more real. All the backpacks and supplies on it are all out of paper towels glued together.
You're like a MacGyver of creativity.
There you are. Yes. And the water tank up here is out of clay that I molded and painted.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so incredibly awesome. So besides acrylic, then obviously you do airbrush.
I do airbrush,
and
yes.
you do oil. You had mentioned as well earlier. So yes.
I don't have the aircraft with me. It's an F-14 Tomcat. It's one I built when I was in California, and that took 2 to 3 years to do. And the reason why is because when I bought that, I wanted to learn how to use an airbrush. And so I was teaching myself to use airbrush. And so I would spend hours getting everything like I wanted, everything, all the different creases, the different tones and stuff of the aircraft. I would change colors, and I wasn't able, I did not understand how to make the flow of paint come out of the airbrush well enough. And so it would clog, and then I would press harder, and then all of a sudden it would block. Exactly. So then I would spend a couple of hours removing the paint and starting all over again. And so that was quite amazing, but I got through it, and I did learn how to use an airbrush.
That's incredible. Maybe you could teach me how to do an airbrush.
I
have one. I've been staring at that thing for years. Yeah,
I can do it.
Yes.
I can do it. It's pretty amazing, but it took me hours of just trial and error, getting the right ratios, and then learning, and reading different things and seeing how people use it.
Of course, sure. Cool. Very, very cool. So, what challenges have you faced in your creative journey, and how did you overcome those challenges?
The challenges I've had is, I think the biggest challenge is subjects. when you get a good subject, I like to do historical things. And obviously, I don't live back in history. Like I wasn't around World War II, World War I, or whatever. So I have to find different backgrounds and shapes of things that I'm doing, like a tank or an aircraft or whatever. And I need to put it back in that same era and with the same sky, the same mist, and all the other the explosions going off. All that's got to come from memory or you know, creativity, whatever, and that's very hard.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yes, yeah. Well, you know, and the best, you know, one of the ways that I met Les is both of us have our art hanging out at the airport, out at Rev Aviation. And Les has some amazing paintings out there talking about the same thing that you're talking about. You know, there are fight scenes of these war birds that are fighting over the water. And I was telling Les earlier that I love the way that he keeps all the horizon is level. The wings are level. You know, I tried to paint, you know, an airplane flying on an aircraft carrier, and that's very hard to do. And we were talking earlier before the show started. We were talking about utilizing your left brain and right brain. Some people can easily transition back and forth, you know, and we really want to inspire everyone to utilize both sides of your brain. You can do it. You can teach yourself how to use both sides. But Les and I and my father, you know, we have that ability. I guess it's a gift, you know, that we can utilize those, because being technical on the technical side, to get a motorcycle to look like a motorcycle, an airplane to, you know, the wings to be level, those kinds of things, that's a feat, and it's all on its own.
It is. It is. And the thing of it is I'm self-taught. Everything that I come up with, I haven't gone to college for it. I went to college for mathematics and physical education, but not art. So my first experience of using oils, my mother, she actually went to college, didn't graduate from college in art, but she did go to school for art. And I knew she had some oils, and she kept them under lock and key. And I was always curious about those paints. Now, I didn't go out and buy my own, but I wanted to borrow hers. So that's what I did. I snuck her oils, and I started painting. And like when I first started using them, she really got angry with me and tried to put them up and hide them, but I found them again. So then I used them and I painted, and she saw what I did. She went, "Oh my goodness, you're kind of gone past me. So here," and she gave me the oils, and she let me do that. So with the oils, I was able to do this one here when I was 16 years old. So.
You're born natural. You're really born natural.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And the diversity of the things that you do is just amazing. Really, really amazing. Okay, so, you know, you and I talked about this a little bit too before in the past. You know, how do you stay motivated? How do you manage your time and all the wonderful things that you try to accomplish in a day or a week or a month, or, you know?
Yes, managing the time is difficult because I sometimes going in 2,000 different directions. I like to paint and do art and do the model building. Sometimes the oil painting gets neglected or whatever, and I have to balance that with playing cello, because I practice a lot of cello. I'm the principal cellist at University of Rock County here, and so that's the difficulty.
Yes. Tell us just a little bit journey about how you decided to play the cello and when you started that.
I've always wanted to learn how to play cello since I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I remember going to a concert and seeing violinists play, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And so I started on violin in first grade, played through high school, but began to not really like it. And then when I got to college, at Golden Woods College in California, someone came, I was in the orchestra there playing violin, and someone came in there with a cello. I forgot his name, but anyway, he was fantastic. And I was just struck, just like, wow, this is cool. So I turned my violin upside down and tried to play it like a cello. And I was amazed. So then it was always in the back of my mind to learn how to do this. So in 1999, I started practicing, cello. Uh, I was at church, and I had mentioned this to a couple people that I would like to learn how to play. Well, someone felt called to the Lord to buy a cello for me. I went, what? So they got me kind of it was a cheap cardboard cello. It didn't sound very good, okay? But at the time, I didn't care.
No.
I wanted to just go out, and I just practiced for hours, and I know I sounded terrible, okay? But I was hooked. So I was just practice, and then the more I practiced, the more I could tell that this cello I was playing was not a very good one, okay? So I went out and tried to buy on my own a good cello, and I paid about $2,000 for it, and I shouldn't have done it because the cello I bought was not a very good one again. So then when I took private lessons, that the person I was taking from, they took me down to a person in Madison that showed me good cellos, and I now have a really good one. So, and I love it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so I have a total wonderful idea that I'll share with you, and you will see if you want to do this too. But I would love to have you back on the show, and let's talk music. Let's have you bring your cello, and you. Okay, perfect,
That'll
perfect.
work.
I figured you'd be in. I totally figured you'd be in on that too.
I'd
Yeah,
love to.
cool, cool, cool. There's so much to what makes you be a creative. You know, you are the MacGyver of a creative. You're like my father. My dad is very much the same way.
Well,
So
thank you.
yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, you know, what are some of your influences and mentors? I know you already kind of talked about, you know, quite a few different people. Is there anyone else that you would like to share with that was
Yes.
a big mentor?
Yes, Norman Rockwell. I love his stuff. The intricate detail he does to show the American, I guess the American people
Yeah.
of the 20th century. Robert Taylor, aviation artist. The guy is amazing, just amazing. Just love his detail. Anything that any object, any mechanical device like an airplane, tank, whatever, anything that shows a lot of detail, I really like doing that. So I like bringing detail out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so, and you can tell that you're very talented and very focused in on that. You know, really.
Right.
So, what advice would you give to any of our aspiring creatives out in the community?
I'm glad you asked that question because this is the one thing that I see it almost constantly when I'm teaching. I will give an art lesson in a classroom, like we're saying we're doing math and we finish the assignment. We have free time, so let's do some art, whatever. So I start showing them, and so we'll do Mickey Mouse or Goofy or whatever, or something that they know. And invariably, one or two, maybe 5 or 6, will look at what they're doing. They're constantly evaluating what they're doing, and they go, "Oh, this is terrible. This looks terrible," and they take it and crunch it up. Okay, when they do that, that's where their learning stops. Right there, it stops. So then next time they want to do something nice, they're going to come up to that same roadblock, get up to that point, stop, and quit. And if you keep doing that, you're not going to learn anything. You've got to persevere through. My brother and I, we used to draw. He's no longer with us, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah.
But anyway, we would have drawing contests, and we would take them and show our parents. But we would draw pretty much all day, and having a ball doing it. I wish I'd saved those pictures because they were fun.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that is the one thing. And the students that continue working ahead, they are building, brick upon brick, getting better. Okay, whereas and this is true for all the things you do in life. If you do just a little bit and you go, "Well, I'm no good at this," and you give up and quit, what are you actually learning? What are you actually doing? What are you doing with your life? You're just kind of wasting it.
I love that advice, and it is so profound. It really is. And as you're talking about that, I'm thinking about the picture that I have of the aircraft carrier with that I almost brought today and didn't because, it's also fear of what people think of you, you know, or they think that it's not perfect. You know, I mean, we're harder on ourselves, I do believe, but it's also in our subconscious saying that everyone else out there is going to think they don't like it either. You know, so that is a learning, you know, to get over that, you know.
Right. That reminds me of a book. I think it's Left Brain or something like that. I forgot exactly what it's called. But anyway, you turn your pictures you're painting upside down so that you can't recognize what it's going to, so you can evaluate it. You're just drawing, and you're just trying to see what you're trying to draw what you see. And that's the key, drawing what you see, okay? Putting it in the right proportions and stuff. Then when you turn it back around, oh my goodness, I actually drew what I saw, you know? But like when it's right side up, it's just continual evaluation. Now when this doesn't happen so much with kids in elementary school. Nobody has looked over their shoulder. Nobody says this is terrible. This is, you know, whatever, evaluating, okay? But the older the student gets, like middle school, definitely high school, constant evaluation. They've been, you know, probably beat up so much that I'm no good. I can't do it.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me in school. And my dad was the one, when I started painting, I just started painting a little over 10 years ago now. And my dad said to me, Lizzie, you always laid on your belly in the floor, in the living room floor, and painted until you hit junior high. And then you stopped, you know, and he said somewhere within school. So I don't know for sure if it was junior high or if it was grade school for me anyways, but you're right. Once somebody started to pick it apart, and in all honesty, I'm sure they were just trying to teach me so that I was better at what I was doing, but it did stop. It did stop me. And I agree with you. I think it stops all of our youth. You know, it's all, that's like the gentlest time of our lives, right? Where someone should be gentle and supportive and loving and kind and all the things, so that when we start creating, we just go, because it is our imagination. It's what we see in our heads. It's what we put on paper, you know, and it shouldn't be so scrutinized. You know?
Yes, like when I show them like cartoons or whatever, like in class, some of them will come up to me. Mr. Mitchell, is this okay? Is this good? Good? Yeah, it looks great. Go. Yes, go.
I can totally see that in you too.
so you know, they just continue.
Yeah.
But really, in my opinion, they don't need to do that. They need to just enjoy what they're doing. But I understand that they've been beat up, whatever it is they're in. When I look at my job is wherever you are on the continuum of from poor to getting really great, wherever you are, my job is to get you moved further on toward great. So you could be really lousy, okay? We want to get you less lousy, okay?
Yes.
Not as confident, a little bit more than less confident.
Yeah.
You know, keep moving him forward.
Well, and being that amazing inspiration, they will then, in their older years, when they're talking to someone else, they're going to say, "Oh my gosh, I had Mr. Mitchell in class, and this is what he did for me, and this is what I'm going to do for you." I also believe it's a pay it forward.
Yes.
You know, whatever we do, we're
That's
paying
exactly
it
right.
forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you see all these, these terrible things that people do, whatever. It's nice to have a little bit of goodness and kindness put back in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we all can do.
Yeah, I agree. And every second and every day, to strive to be that loving kindness, supportive cheerleader, inspiration to our world.
Yes, exactly. Be a cheerleader.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, whenever I ref volleyball, probably some of the people out there know me as a referee that's not just quiet. When some kid, hits it with a, yes! Yeah! Hey, be proud of what you did. So,
yeah, absolutely. So you ref, I guess just a really quick, I know you ref basketball because I've seen you do basketball. Yeah. So it's volleyball too? So how many other things? Yeah.
And soccer. That's, so is there anything else? Right now, no. I did do football.
Football too, as well.
Football.
Yeah, so you're very involved.
Yeah.
Besides all the magical things that you create.
And I also sometimes coach.
That's awesome. Awesome, Les. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful to have you on our show.
I've enjoyed this. It was very fun.
Yes, awesome. I have as well. And I know all of you have as well. Les, truly is an inspirational artist and creative. And, after this portion of the show, we will bring him back on and you'll get a chance to look at all of his amazing art and find out what his favorite pieces are and where to find him out in our community. So, let's talk now about cherished time. And I also want to explore Quiet Your Mind with Creativity. This is actually an art journal that I developed while attending the G Alpha Generator program in Beloit back in the spring of 2023. G Alpha is a free 7-week venture creation workshop designed to help entrepreneurial-minded students and technologists, say that 5 times fast, create high-growth startups. It was truly a life changer for me and really is what launched me into being an entrepreneur myself. One of our most precious resources is time. How we use that time can make all the difference in the world, and we can never get it back. We only have 24 hours in a day, and it's all about how we choose to use it. Time is a gift. It's the moments with loved ones, the hours for our passions, and the minutes we invest in ourselves. Using time wisely isn't just about being productive, it's about balance, joy, and fulfillment. Creativity lights up our lives. It helps us think outside of the box, solves problems, and expresses ourselves. When we make time for creativity, we open doors to new possibilities and a fresh new perspective. Prioritizing our time, which is very hard for all of us, I know it, means prioritizing us also for our well-being. It's about dedicating energy to what truly matters: our family, our friends, our careers, adventures, self-care, and our creative expressions. Every single moment spent on what we love brings us closer to a very fulfilled life. In our last episode, I talked about ikigai, living in accordance to ikigai, the Japanese concept of finding our purpose and our meaning in life. It's all about aligning your passions, talents, and values with what the world needs. Remember, it's really okay to say no to things that don't align with our values. That particularly is very tough for me because I happen to be a yes girl. Our time is just too valuable to waste. By being mindful, we can create a life filled with meaning, intention, and boundless creativity. So let's commit together to cherishing every single moment, using our time wisely, and living a life that reflects our passions, values, and our creative spirit. Time is about the moments we create, the memories we cherish, and the unique expressions of our creativity, just like Les shared with us today. Let's make each moment count. And, with all that said, I'm going to launch into Quiet Your Mind with Creativity, but I want you to kind of take that inspiration from last two, doodle. Grab your calendar. If you are blocked, if you're having a moment, if you just need a break, doodle. Make a dog, which I'll show you again earlier, or later, I should say, what Les shared with us earlier. Make a dog out of an infinity, out of an 8. So let's jump in to Quiet Your Mind with Creativity, and let's spend some quality time together. Are you ready to spend some quality time together? This is Quiet Your Mind with Creativity. This is the journal that I created, and if you would like your own copy, please shoot me an email, give me a call, and I will sell you one so that you can follow along today and also in the future. We'll be talking about Quiet Your Mind with Creativity in the next few episodes. So get yours today so that you can follow along. And remember, you can continue to watch this, you can pause it, you can do whatever. But what I would recommend you do is find a spot that you can set up. Yes, I know I'm on the floor, but this is my favorite place to paint, to draw, to do all of the things that I love to do. And you can purchase everything, of course. I know you know that, crayons and pencils and markers. The permanent markers that are actually acrylic markers are fun to utilize. The sky's the limit. Go to your local craft store and pick out the certain different things that you want to learn to create with. I also brought watercolors as well. As I talk a little bit about loving life creatively in my book, the paper in it made by Jack's Printing for me is actually acrylic paper. So it will take pretty much anything that you put on it, you know, water or acrylic paints, the watercolors, anything, and it will dry and you can still close it and your artwork is still intact. So that's one thing that I do love about working with Jack's Printing, that they are wonderful at sharing with me the best type of paper to utilize. So with that said, Quiet Your Mind with Creativity's whole premise and purpose is to help you not only find your creative side, but to also quiet your mind down. I know I talk a lot about that in all of our episodes and in life in general. Quieting our minds is such an amazing tool to use to really listen to what our subconscious is telling us. Because I know our days are so full and packed of busyness and loudness and chaos, and we drive to work, we drive home, we take care of the kids, you know, all the things that we try to accomplish in a day. And utilizing creativity as that kind of a tool to quiet your mind is just such a profound way, and I can't stress it enough, and I know you can see the passion in me when I talk about it. So let's get to one of these wonderful little activities that I have in this book. Now this book is filled with a bunch of different activities. Don't feel like you have to start at page 1, because being a creative is not starting at page 1. It is really focusing on something in your imagination and focusing on something that you want to accomplish. And don't be afraid at all of what you do, what you decide to create, and be kind and be loving to yourself for whatever it is that you create. I know that I have been hard on myself. I think every artist out there, every creative out there has been hard on themselves. And of course, that's what drives us to be better. Like Les was talking about earlier, he is really a cheerleader to help people be better. That's what I want to do for you as well. So, all right, are you ready for this? Join me in this creative journey in Quiet Your Mind with Creativity. So what we do is we will draw whatever you want on the right side. I know some people are left-handed or right-handed, so it doesn't really matter. You can decide whichever one works best for you. But what you want to do is focus on drawing something, and it doesn't matter what it is. A wonderful artist that I met a few years ago who told me that don't overthink it, just do it. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. I'm going to encourage you just to draw. And as you're drawing on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, depending on what you decide to do this on, I want you to write down what is your subconscious telling you. And just the meat and potatoes. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be just something to get it out of your mind and down on paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drawing, and I'm going to do the same thing with you. So please follow along. Oh, and I just put my paintbrush in my coffee. That's funny. That is not the first time that has happened. I'm sure it'll happen to you too. You get kind of hyper-focused, right? One of the things that happens to me when I am painting is my mind does go quiet. And I know for those of you out there know me, that doesn't happen very easily. So when I found that creating, painting, drawing, whatever that is, really made my mind slow down and I could hear my subconscious, it really was profound to me. So I really hope for all of you out there that you find that this is an amazing tool, no matter what the creativity is that you decide to do, playing an instrument, drawing, coloring, building a model airplane, like Les, my dad. I also build model airplanes. Do anything that is a creative. Heck, plant your garden. Now that we're into January, we're on our way to springtime again. Start working on how you want to plant your garden. Draw it out. Heck, use Quiet Your Mind with Creativity, the journal, to draw it out. There's so many different types of creativity. Actually, I think there's artists that utilize coffee to paint with. You know, when we talk about time and we talk about what we decide to do with our time, creating is such an important part of it, and I know I can't stress that enough. Mental health is such an important part of our lives. And even more, you know, as we roll into the new year and all the things that are going on in our communities, it's just, it's a tough time. And leaning on, you know, your higher power, whatever that is, your creativity, your family, your friends, whatever that is, leaning on and leaning in to those kinds of things and focusing on the positives in our lives is such an important part of our being. My subconscious sometimes tells me, oh, Lizzie, your flower doesn't look like a flower. Lizzie, why are you putting polka dots on your flower? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And being able to quiet that portion of your mind down while you're doing this and understand where it's coming from is the key, because a lot of times it is our subconscious that is what really is being nice to us or not. I choose for my subconscious to be nice to me. And I bet all of you feel the same way. and learning what our subconscious is telling us is one of the most profound things that I love about Quiet Your Mind with Creativity. And as you work through this book, not only are you writing down what is your subconscious talking to you, like today, of course, I am painting along with you. And if we were in a classroom, more people would be also sharing what is their subconscious talking with you. So when you do take my class and you're amongst people that you might not know, and they start sharing, sometimes that brings out something else that might be in your mind. Maybe a new career that you want to try. Maybe you want to try a different type of creativity, like playing a new instrument, learning to ride a motorcycle, any of those kinds of things. When you have others around you that you can talk to and find out what their passions are and what their trek in life has been, sometimes it's an inspiration for you. So doing this in a group setting is also super cool to do as well. And I'm very, very thankful and grateful to get to do this with all of you out there in our world. And I really hope that you are following along and doing this along with me. And actually, I guess that's nothing to follow, right? You're making your own thing. So throughout this book, I also have little inspirational things. Like one of them is love. And at this end of this episode, I just want to share with you, because my love for sharing creativity is so profound. So I just want to talk with you a little bit about love. So love is one of my favorite words. The word is cherished by many, feared by many, and can make someone feel pretty crazily awesome or super insanely uncomfortable. I don't know about you. Sometimes you have those friends out there that you say, I love you, and they don't say, I love you back. That might just be because they don't feel exactly compelled, or it's not an easy thing for somebody to say. So just always remember that. Be authentic. Be your authentic you. Wikipedia's definition of love is to encompass a range of strong and positive emotional and mental states, from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, to the simplest pleasure. Love can mean many things to many people. I love ice cream, love dogs, love airplanes, as you all know, love the ocean. I love people and all kinds of people. Who do you love? Write them down. While you're doing these creative adventures in this journal, you'll find different things like this where it will spark some other emotional feelings within you. Write that down. Getting it out on paper is a healing modality. It is a wonderful way to find inspiration and your passion, and just better your life in general. So keep creating with me, and I truly, truly believe that creativity just makes our world a better place. All right, so Les, now I would love for you to share with us a little bit about all these wonderful creations that you brought to share today.
Okay. First of all, the combine right there. This was in the field over by, I don't remember the name of it. Okay, it's near the airport. Okay, it was sitting in the field in the airport, and I would drive by there every now and then when I went down south to Beloit to teach. And I thought, that would make a good painting subject. Why don't I take a picture of that? That was like two or 3 years previous. So one time I just stopped my truck, got out, went out and took a couple pictures, and took different views. Didn't know whose property it was. It was near like a junkyard or whatever.
That's right outside of Glen Erin, right? Right by the airport?
Yes.
Where the airport road goes in.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly
I remember
right.
now that,
yes.
yes.
So I took the picture, and then I went home, and 1 week later it was removed. So I got it just in time. So I liked the rust on it, and I just wanted to do that, and I liked the way the tires were sunk into the soil. So I wanted to really bring out the wood down there. So I tried to do as much vegetation as I could, and it just looked like an interesting picture I could do.
Yeah, the detail in it is astronomical. I mean,
thank you.
really, yeah.
Thanks. I like the
Yes.
rust on it. The rust was really fun to do.
I bet it was.
It was
Playing
really
with all those colors to
all
try
the
to get
different
that
colors,
rust.
get
Yeah,
the rust,
yeah,
yeah.
get that the rust look.
Right. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. And this is the Lovejoy Mansion down here. It's right here up on the top of the hill in Janesville. I like the different structures on it. How different, gables, windows, whatever. These are the colors that the mansion was in before it was renovated and finished. So I wanted to just kind of paint what it looked like. So, and that's what I came up with there. Yeah. And this is
Beautiful.
another one of the same thing. It's just of all one color. And this is a motorcycle that I saw in Madison, and so I took the picture. I like the way the silver glistened in the sun. I wanted to bring out the some of the asphalt detail, but mostly I just like the way the motorcycle looked leaning over. I'm a motorcycle guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you ride? Do you ride also?
I used to drive a motorcycle in California, but then when after I was married, I said, well, I better just stay safe. So there you go.
Yes, that's that. Well, and the one behind you too, the bulldozer.
Oh, the bulldozer.
Yes.
Now the bulldozer. Yeah, I like the rocks. I wanted to detail rocks and different vegetation. The tractor, I like the mud on the. I just wanted to see how much detail I could bring out in the tractor. So it was just an interesting subject for me to do. So I've never done a tractor, so I thought let's try a tractor.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about one of these calendars.
Okay. All right. So I would doodle different things, and I would try to bring out the different detail of helicopters, jets. You can see that there's dark places where the blue is. I tried to get the entire thing and get it as authentic as I could looking as. This is a Thunder Chief up here. I like the way it looked. I like the proportions of it. So there it is.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, back to left brain, right brain.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
the technical side of you and
Right,
the
right.
and
these things could fall out. Just let them fall
Okay,
out.
all right.
Let them fall. Right. This is a Corsair here. Different other things like Wile E. Coyote. Don't ask me who these people are because they're just drawings. There's a Skyhawk right there. Guy over here with a hockey. No wait, supposed to be a hockey guy with an axe. I'm not sure what, but anyway, just different ideas.
and this is watercolor, right? It's
This is
watercolor
as well.
and
This is pen and ink,
pencil and
pen, ink, and watercolor. Yes.
that's awesome. So awesome.
And this is one of those cars.
Oh, funny cars or
Funny
yeah,
cars.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
The Thunderbolt,
Yeah.
the P-47,
Yeah.
and of course a ship too
Yep. These are some
on your
tanks.
soldiers, yeah, and your
Soldiers.
tank.
Yeah, here's
The
a guy.
violinist.
Violinist. Here's a guy with an afro with playing a piano.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Les, you are so talented. Your imagination is, wonderful. And to see your imagination.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Here is a Union soldier with oversized hands. He's got a gun that he's loading, I guess. So there you are.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Oh, and you got your little airplane up there too.
Yep, yep.
That's
Thunderbolt.
awesome. Thunderbolt, yep.
These are Volkswagens.
I love Volkswagens.
Yeah, more Thunderbolts. There's a football player with a couple of volleyballs hitting at his head.
Well, and I love the oversized of the fuselage and then the smaller wings. I love the that caricature of an airplane is amazing. As I know that I'm a huge airplane nut. So that
These are more soldiers, an F4 Phantom. Okay.
Love it. Helicopter.
Guy over here that's rocking out on a bass guitar.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, another violin down there.
Yeah.
Baseball note.
Yeah.
This is just you doodling. This is
doodling,
just
just doodling.
just doodling.
Just doodling.
Do you sit and do this like when you're watching TV, while you're drinking your coffee? I mean, when?
Sometimes I'm at school
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
between lessons and, nobody's asking me any questions, so I'm just doodling. And then once I doodle it, I'll cut it out and then paint it and put it on the calendar.
Sure.
Yeah. This tractor here is a military version of the tractor. It's got the shields and all that kind of thing. It's an A7 Corsair.
Corsair.
A7 Corsair.
Yeah. Yeah, with his wings up.
Yeah. That's a Wildcat there.
Yeah.
And here we got another military.
You were into the green. You were into the green that day.
Yeah. These are all tanks. There you are.
Yeah, that's wonderful. The cool bird.
Yes,
That's,
cool bird. Yes.
Oh, I like him.
It's Moana or something.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. That's a C-47.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yep. Another tank.
Yep. World War I person here.
Yeah.
And this plane is a combination of Wildcat and some other plane. I have no idea. So
Sure.
just
It's imagination plane.
exactly.
Yeah.
There it is.
I love it. Oh, and you got your gunner
You got the gunner
in
right
there
there.
too. Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
That's really cool. Les, it's amazing.
It's a police vehicle.
Wow.
Got a person with a nice big afro.
Yeah, and the soccer ball.
Soccer ball. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Got a military guy up there.
I love the military guy. He's got long hair.
Yeah.
And he's got a beard.
He's got a beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The beard.
Love it.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
This is our former pastor at our church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Les,
Yeah.
the detail in that. Monkey.
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 Yeah. There you go.
But the detail in these soldiers and the pastor. So what were you thinking when you did the pastor amongst all the soldiers? Like he's leading us soldiers, right, as a pastor?
I have no idea. Just put him in there. No particular reason.
Did you ever show this to him?
The picture of him, yes. He liked it. It was good.
You should take a picture of that and give it to him.
I should probably do
You
that.
should do that, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you've got Foghorn Leghorn next to him, too.
Exactly, yes.
This is just outstanding. So everybody out there in our world, doodle. Doodle. Look at the things that you could create just doodling in your time, using your time. A float plane.
These are policemen, okay, and this is an MRAP vehicle, mine-resistant, armor-protected MRAP, and they had those in one of our recent wars, and so they had a surplus of them. So some police departments bought them and used them for very serious kind of things.
Sure.
To take care of.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
a Farley
Love that.
swordfish right there at the top. And here's a black lady with no hair.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Les, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. We'll just set that there for now.
Okay.
Les, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful creativity with us and with the world. You have so much to share, and I know that we don't have a whole lot of time left, so I would love to have you back on the show. And we'll talk about your cello, and maybe we'll still wrap in a little bit of art, if you're okay with that.
That sounds great.
Okay. That's okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Cool.
Can't wait to have you back.
All right.
Thank you again. Yeah. The legacy that you are creating, I mean, you will live on, creatives, we live on forever because of our art. We really do.
Yeah.
So, yes. So thank you again for spending your precious time with us today. You are an amazing artist, Les. I mean, I know I keep saying that over and over again, but I'm, as you can all tell, I'm very mesmerized by, the detail that you bring. I am truly honored to have you on our show today. You are an incredible inspiration. Keep doing what you do. Keep inspiring, the kids, the adults, everybody in your life. And, look to, right now, Les actually has his art hung up at Rev Aviation, like we had talked about earlier today. And you can sometimes see your art at JPAC for the, Art League, during the Janesville Art League shows too as well. And Les, is there anything else that you want to share of how do we get a hold of you, or do you do commission art pieces?
I do commission artwork pieces. Yes, definitely do that.
Okay. Okay. So any of you military enthusiasts out there, if you want a wonderful creation from Les, on the scrolling after the show is done, you'll be able to get all of his information from there. So you know what? I can't wait to see what you create next, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, Les. Thanks again for being here. Thank you so very much for joining us on Loving Life Creatively. We hope you've been inspired by the incredible talent and stories of our local artists. It truly has been an honor sharing this time with you. Creating is an exhilarating escape that quiets the mind and fuels positivity. When you dive into the creative process, it's like flipping a switch that drowns out the noise and fills you with a vibrant energy. Every brushstroke, word, or note is a step towards a joyful accomplishment, making the world brighter and your spirit a little lighter. Creating really is for everyone. Keep creating, keep inspiring, and keep loving life creatively. Until next time.